Hello, so this video today is my attempt to lay out the steps that I took on my path from feeling very afraid and anxious and worried most of the time to now feeling a much higher level of well-being and a much lower level of worry and anxiety. And it's interesting because as I was thinking about this, it's really hard to quantify the impact that something has had on you. I mean, that's one of the reasons why success is measured in money is because at least we can measure it. It's really hard to say, oh, I have a happy family. My family's happier than yours. Oh, I'm just happy, 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 or like, oh, I have less stress than you, or I feel better than you. I mean, there are so many other things to take into account, and it's really hard to measure specifically. But what I wanted to do was at least walk through some of the things that I did on my path. So one of the very first things that as I was trying to make my way out of stress and anxiety and everything, one of the very first books I read, realize I have all sorts of weird bookmarks in here, is this book right here, Awaken the Giant Within. Let's get my hand off of it. Tony Robbins. Some of the big things that I got out of it are, number one, he has an extremely good method for breaking a habit pattern, a habitual thought or action pattern that you have. He has a very, very, very good way of doing it in there. Number two is his moving and breathing and his physiology and psychology connection that he talks about. And as part of that, what you do is you do it as close to first thing in the morning as you can. You wake up and you just start walking and breathing. And it's about 15 minutes long. And then you start thinking about the things that you're grateful for, and you just like try and like feel gratitude and just flood your mind and your body with gratitude. And then you think about the things that you want, and you imagine things that you want as if you already had them right now, and you feel grateful for them as if you had them right now. So this book, or you can just YouTube Tony Robbins and you will find like ridiculous amounts of stuff. So anything here I would highly, highly, highly recommend. Second book that I read that I would say had a massive impact on me would be How to Stop Worrying and Start Living, right here. It is life-changing. By the time you're done, you're like, holy crap, I have no reason to ever worry about anything ever. So the next book that I came across, and I think I came across this, I honestly don't remember the exact order, so I'll just go with this one. This book is called The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. He's Portuguese, so his last name's pronounced strange. And what I absolutely love about it is it's almost like it illustrates an entire life of somebody, and you see a goal up there and you want this goal. I want a family, I want somebody to love. I want money. I want physical health, whatever. So you're like, great, I'm going to go for it. And you go for it. And in your mind, you think you're going to go like this. Or, you think you're going to go like this. You don't think you're going to go like that. And I hope you enjoyed my sound effects, by the way. But you don't think that you're going to just be totally thrown off course. And the fact of the matter is, the reality of life is that oftentimes you are. And I think that this book is extremely helpful in situations like that. Next book that I read, this is a priceless treasure. This is about using your mind to get whatever it is that you want. It's really, truly just about how you can get your mind in order and kind of help yourself through your thoughts. So I was reading Think and Grow Rich, and I was talking to my chiropractor about it, and he said, what book my dad told me about that I like? It's this book, and it's called The Science of Getting Rich. A couple of things that I love about The Science of Getting Rich. Number one, it's like 80 pages, so it's quick and easy to read. Number two, the principles are pretty dang simple. Number three, probably one of the most meaningful things in the book for me was the idea that nothing is bad in the world. First of all, he says, don't get yourself wrapped up with all these thoughts about how terrible the world is and how the world's going to hell and how, there's so much bad stuff going on. He's like, no, the world is not going to hell. It's going to God. The second thing, he talks about being grateful, and he talks about being grateful for everything. The things that you think are good and the things that you think are bad. All right, we're down to 3 more. Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. Eckhart Tolle is this guy who went through an incredibly difficult psychological time, had what can best be described as a spiritual awakening, and now tries to help people to calm their brains, calm their minds, and use their brains as tools, but not let their minds run them. So then 2 more books that were fantastic for me. One is this one right here, Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl. It's very cool. It's a little graphic, and it's a little disturbing because it talks about Holocaust stuff. But I find it extremely helpful for me when sometimes I am at a loss. The last book, Outwitting the Devil, The Secret to Freedom and Success. And the main point of it, and I would highly encourage, I almost don't want to tell you the main point because then somebody's going to say, oh, okay, I know the main point, so I don't have to read it. So don't do that. If you are at all inclined to read this book, I highly recommend it. In fact, you know what? I'm not going to tell you the main point of it, but I am going to tell you that some of the points that he makes are that fear of anything, including fear of the devil, is one of the ways that the devil can control people. I am going to tell you that people not thinking for themselves and anything that encourages you to blindly listen to something and to not think for yourselves and to not question and to not come to your own conclusions, and especially to not take action, is also another thing that he says will control people. When I put all this stuff together, okay, there's one more thing that I wanted to talk about. So when I put these books and then the 4 that I have on my computer screen behind here together, I got a lot of help. I got help not worrying and not being afraid. I got help overcoming things that I was really struggling to overcome on my own. I got help with planning my life. I got help with accepting things the way that they are right now. I got help feeling gratitude and just feeling happier about life no matter how it is. I got help with not feeling like it's pointless to be in the world because, oh, it's so bad and I can't change it, so what's even the point? I got help with dealing with disappointments to my plans. A lot of successful people, an additional thing that I got, and what a lot of successful people will say, is to learn to listen to your conscience, your intuition, your gut, the Holy Ghost, your other self, your sixth sense, the universe, God. There are a million ways to describe what they say to listen to, but almost everybody that I've come across agrees that there is something inside of you that is kind of your guide and that you will benefit from listening to, and you will benefit from following. And they almost all also agree that the best way to learn to listen to that inner guide is through trial and error and practice. And that it's extremely important to do that trial and error and that practice, and to not be so afraid that you're going to mess up that you don't do the practice.